Peace, you already know who it is. So check this out. This topic I'm talking about is inspired by an author whom I was introduced to in high school through my JV coach. Shout out to Kenny Pretlow. Read his book. He gave me his book. I didn't complete it because he said I was reading it too slow. But nevertheless, right? Once I did the research on this particular author, I realized I was like, wow, this is crazy because he used to do drugs to write his he used to do drugs, and in order to continue his hit or to get his supply, he would shell out a lot of books. He would write a lot of books, right? And he's also known as the father of urban fiction. And this author is none other than Donald Goines. You see, so I used to, going through my knowledge of self phase, still am going through on my journey rather. I used to just read a lot of self improvement books. Now I took a little bit of break to expand my palette, so to speak, and I started reading more like Donald Goines' books. And I find it very intriguing. It's beautiful, beautifully written, and shout out to him. So, like I said earlier, I did some research on him. Yes, he was murdered at a young age, but what I found fascinating was his ability to lock in, to write these books to support a habit. So you're saying, what's so remarkable about that? You're probably saying, Tris, what if he didn't do it? How was he able to put out such quality work? The question is, why did he use it and he was able to put out that type of work? You see what I'm saying? So when we look at movies such as Lucy or Limitless, where they take these drugs to enhance their brain creativity, it is something to marvel. So that's what I'm really looking at, like how he was able to tap into that creativity. But what if I told you we can do that naturally? You see what I'm saying? So in the Holy Quran, one of the attributes of Allah is the Most High, right? What is He most high in? He's most high in wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and power. You see, whenever we have problems and we don't have the solution, it leads to frustration. We feel restricted. That's why some people say sometimes when they want to find a solution, they either sleep on it, or when they're doing something trivial, they will end up solving it. Like, for example, I do puzzles, right? Sometimes when I'm constrained and I can't find the piece, I'll leave it alone. And then sometimes when I'm just leisurely watching television, I'll find the pieces and then I'll start putting it together. So it's something about the human mind. When it's at ease, so to speak, or solving problems, we can tap in to those powers. You see what I'm saying? So that's the gist I'm getting at. So how naturally we can do these things. I think in this society here where we're beating down with false belief systems, it restricts us in tapping into those godlike abilities, and we can call it in demand. For example, shout out to Dr. Supreme Understanding. In one of his books, I think it's Hustle and Win, How to Hustle and Win. I can't remember, but it's one of his books, I believe I read this in, where I think during the 60s and 50s, when crack cocaine was an epidemic in the black community, where the gun, I'm not a gun person, so I don't know. I think it was a 2.8 revolver. I think what the police used to use, it wouldn't pierce our skin, meaning black people's skin, because they felt that the substance that we were using strengthened us, made us supermen, made our skin impenetrable to the bullets. I think that's how the origin of the 38 revolver came about, because they needed something more to stabilize us, right, or to pierce our skin. So it moved to a 38 revolver. You see what I'm saying? So we can definitely, so we see glimpse of our potential in this type of world under these type of settings or environment. For example, you would think of someone, then then your phone will ring, or you'll see them. Like, oh, I was just thinking about you. The phone will ring, or there's many times I would think about someone, and then as soon as I go outside, I see them on my block, or I run into them like, yo, I just had a thought about you. You know what I mean? Or you go to a place physically, you don't think you've been there, but you're like, I've been here before. It's almost like a deja vu kind of situation. So the way how I believe we can tap into these things is, one, by immense study and knowing ourselves. One starts from the power of belief and learning how to solve problems. That's where we get joy from. You see what I'm saying? That's why whenever we open up a book, not just a physical book, but I'm giving that metaphor now, it takes on wings. You see, when we open it, we takes on wings because we're learning how to rise above the situation, gets a bird's eye view. That's where that saying comes from. You're getting a panoramic view of looking at the whole picture as you soar over your problems. That's why it says, by reading a book, it gives you the shape, or takes the shape of a bird, right? So you don't have to drink Red Bull to get wings, to learn how to fly. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Tap into your abilities and believe in yourself, and you can tap into these supernatural or superhuman abilities. You know what I mean? Try it. Take my word for it. You don't gotta take my word for it. Just try it and see. And you are, if I'm pretty sure you already experienced these type of things that I'm talking about unconsciously. The question is now, how do we do it consciously or at our will? We see movies about this all the time. All right. So it's Alchemy Fitness signing off, where we transfer you from let to go. Train hard, train smart, train safe. Peace.